The Lex
I can smell all of the smoke, all that love and positivity, that shit is a joke. I should dead them all, my heart ski down slopes. When you did piggyback, everybody wanna see you broke, bro. Me and snakes don't lip lock. I don't think the feet look good on me like flip-flops. I know if I spit it, it belongs in this Ziploc. They know I'ma kill them, all they hearing is tick-tock. Your time is up. Where there's fire, you see the smoke, yeah. I know liars, I seen them fold, yeah. I'm so tired from all these souls, it's done been a good year. My tires don't leave the road, yeah. Are they serious?
Alright, let me talk to you real quick about Rexius Nutrition in Ralston. Rexius carries an awesome line of pre-workout from brands like Alpha Lion, Bucked Up, 5150, Insane Labs, and several other brands. They also have a great selection of protein powder, including my personal favorite, the All Max Hexapro cookies and cream flavored. Can't go wrong with that. They also carry the very popular brand Axe and Sledge protein powders, branched chain amino acids, which are crucial to stay hydrated, and pre-workout. They also carry locally owned brands like VHI Fit. They carry their protein powders in several different flavors. They also have pre-workout, branched chain amino acids, vegan protein powder as well. And if you have a sweet tooth like me, you gotta try this Omaha protein popcorn. The owners Jamie and Brent Stryker are absolute studs and are very knowledgeable with a background in bodybuilding. Jamie even reached pro status as an IFBB pro women's physique competitor. Stop by Rexius Nutrition in Ralston on the corner of 84th and Q and receive 10% off when you tell them you're there on an official visit. All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with another episode of The Official Visit. My name is Oscar Galindo. I'm here with a very special guest out of the state capital, playing for Lincoln Southwest. He's a very fast rising junior in the 2025 class, defensive lineman. Also plays on the offensive side a little bit, but you know he makes his bread on the defensive side, there in the trenches. We have Junior Cole Erickson. How's it going, Cole?
Nice to be on. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, for sure, dude. I'm glad we were able to get you on. I appreciate you taking time to do this. So, but yeah, get straight to it. We'll get to some pregame questions. The first one I got for you is, do you have any pre-game routines or just anything you kind of like to go through, maybe a process you like to go through before games?
So before games, I like to, in the locker room before I even head out, I like to listen. I put in my AirPods and then I lay on the floor. So I just lay there, close my eyes and just listen to whatever song. It's a different song every week. It's not the same song, but
Yeah.
I lay there, listen to it, get relaxed, get ready to go.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, you mentioned you kind of like getting your tunes going. Is there, you mentioned you said you like to change it up, but do you have like a go-to song that you're like, once I get this one going, I'm ready to go?
I'm a little different. I don't listen to rap or a lot of rap. So big like pop songs, like kind of like dance. So probably
Okay.
like Katy Perry. Just I like to sing, like to dance.
Yeah, for sure. Just something to get you
Loosen
moving,
up.
get your body loosened up for sure, man. There you go. So then, watching your game, you've really progressed a lot. Just throughout the past couple seasons that we've been watching you. I know people take inspiration from many different places. Do you yourself are there any players that in the NFL or college ranks that you kind of like to watch and maybe like learn from them and maybe like, oh, they do this, maybe I'll try to do that or emulate in any way?
So I listen to the Kelsey podcast. So
Okay.
big Jason Kelsey kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I like his attitude, how he approaches the game, blocking, and then George Kittle. I like watching him as a tight end. He's a big blocker. He prides himself in how he blocks. Like he just likes to get after dudes. And then defensive side, probably like Nick Bosa, and then I like Aiden Hutchinson as well. Just quick speed guys. They're not big. They're not, but they're quick. They get the job done.
Yeah,
Obviously.
definitely. Yeah, definitely, man. Similar kind of game. Now that you mention it, similar game to, yours and how you kind of play out there. Not necessarily the biggest one out there, but you're probably quicker than a lot of
Yep.
guys blocking you. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
for
man.
sure.
So then, kind of the last pregame question I have for you is, I like to eat. I like to go to different places, try different foods and stuff. Is there any good low key spots out in Lincoln that you are a good place to get a bite to eat?
De Leon's,
De
uh,
Leon's,
right out
okay.
by the UBT field. Love that place. Big old
Yeah,
burrito.
nice.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that is that your go-to? Are you hitting that up after games or anything like that? Getting a burrito?
It's a drive, but if I'm ever near
Okay.
it, I try and hit it up.
Yeah,
Usually after games, I don't like to eat after games. I just make sure I stay hydrated, don't cramp. Just
yeah.
bare minimum.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, De Leon's, man. That's a popular one. I'm always
Yeah.
down for, the De Leon's, the Abelardo's, Lena's, all
Yep.
those, those
Mm-hmm.
late night or places to go get some tacos and stuff.
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. Um, all right, man. So, oh, and then the last one I got here for you, it is sponsored by the sponsor of our show, Rexius Nutrition in Ralston.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know who in the Lincoln Southwest locker room is the biggest beast in the weight room.
Weight room beast. I gotta go Ashton Trout. He's big. He's a big
Okay.
lifting guy. A little bit on the bodybuilder side, but he's great. Just always at it. Always at
Oh
it.
yeah, nice man.
Yep.
Are there any numbers of his off the top of your head that you could throw out? Kind of.
I know recently he posted like a 405 box squat for like 8 reps or something crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah, just just a dog. Just
Yeah.
built. He's always been built for a while now too.
For sure, man. Hey, way to go, Ashton, man.
Yeah.
Getting some weight out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even and that's saying something because you guys got some freaks out there in that locker
We
room, man.
do.
So,
Yeah.
so that's saying something for sure, man. All right, dude. So yeah, that was our pregame questions. Like I said, just kind of doing some icebreakers, kind of get to know you a little bit. So then kind of moving forward, before we start talking about the Silverhawks and your season or your junior season, I do kind of want to talk about kind of your startup with football. I know you do have some strong family football ties. Like we talked earlier, your dad played college ball.
Yeah.
Kind of talk a little bit about what that experience was like, kind of growing up, having a father that's played at that level, a level that you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Kind of yeah, just your experience with that and kind of your startup with football, really.
So my dad, for the longest time, he's always stayed out of it. He's just put us in football. He's let us in a ton of sports. All my brothers have been in a ton of sports, but he's always stayed out of football. And then recently, I've asked him to help me with my game. And then so we do a lot of film study together because he's big on film. That translates a lot to the next level. And then he's always helping me nutrition wise, like what he did to help his body, what I can do to help mine. So he just helps me out a ton with nutrition, weight room, and then just the mindset of it. The whole like you gotta be aggressive, you gotta be physical, like you have to want to play. Like it's not an easy game. You gotta show up every day.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome to hear you kind of, once you really kind of sunk your teeth into wanting to play football, that's when you kind
Mm-hmm.
of probably took it
That's
into
what
another
held me
level.
in. Yeah.
Oh, when was that for you? Or what kind of made you realize like, man, I really like this game. I really want to do everything I can to, make sure I'm playing this as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. So freshman year, I played. I started off as a quarterback, outside linebacker kind of guy. So
Yeah.
then we were playing Southeast. I was on the freshman team, and then I had my ankle tore. I don't remember exactly, but I had to get surgery on it. And I was like, man, this really sucks. I want to be here for my team. I want to finish out the season. So the next year, sophomore year, I had a chance to play varsity and then on the D line. So I played varsity on the D line. I was like, man, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. So then I just committed to the weight room that off season, committed to my other sports, and then I learned Coach Burks. He's helped me out a ton with technique because I was new to the position. Obviously, he helped me out a ton with technique, pass rush. Just I've grown a ton through the different people in my life that have helped me.
Yeah. That's awesome to hear you kind of, that obviously not awesome that you hurt yourself your freshman
Yeah,
year, but that adversity, and going from ending your freshman season, hobbled and injured and stuff to
Yeah.
earning a spot on the varsity role, a varsity role your sophomore season. So
Hmm.
kind of going back to what you said about like that mindset and making sure you got in that right mentality. What was that like? I'm sure that's probably a period of transition where a lot of freshman kids might be like, man, I don't know, I got injured, maybe I don't want to do football or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
How did you kind of get into that mindset? Like, man, I don't want to just get back out there. I want to go back out there and do it as best as I can.
Yeah. So I injured myself like week 6, and it was 6 month. It was supposed to be a 6 month recovery from surgery. So I got the surgery done. They put everything back. I was in a cast for a while, for like 2 weeks, and then I had a boot for a while. So I did my rehab. I was supposed to come back to like baseball season, so I wasn't even expected to be able to play basketball. But I went progressed super well in my treatments, how my ankle went, and I came back. It was like right after winter break, sometime around then when I came back. So I got to finish out the last part of the basketball, went into baseball. The off season hit, and then that's when I really, obviously I still have baseball going on, but weight room was a big thing. All the summer conditioning and the camps and all the practices that we do. It was a ton of work, but I came back and I was able to prove my spot and earn a spot on varsity.
Sure, man. That's tough, man. And like I said, that takes a very kind of gritty mindset there to be able to take all that on, kind of uh,
Yeah.
at a young age, and then kind of also even go above and beyond, what you're
Hmm.
supposed to do a little bit. So yeah, that's really cool to hear, and kudos to you for doing that and being able to get back out there. Um, so then kind of transitioning here to talking a little bit about Lincoln Southwest and your guys' season.
Hmm.
Your sophomore season, you guys had that really successful year with that a really great
Yep.
senior year. That class, I
Hmm.
believe, was 2023.
Yes.
You guys made it to, I believe, you guys were a game away from the state championship.
Hmm.
And then kind of this year, you probably knew it might have been, there'll probably be some growing pains with, losing such a great class. But how did
Hmm.
you kind of, take on that role, knowing that you're going to be taking on, or, knowing that you're going to be taking on a bigger role this season in your junior year? How did you kind of embrace that
Yeah. So that
responsibility?
senior class was big. So we had Cal Newell. Sure, if you heard of him, he was a great leader, mentor. Brogan Ling, lots of guys. Colin Fritton. We had a ton of dudes that were really, they led by example. So we had a great culture. Everyone wanted to be there. This year we had a young team. We had a new coach, so we had a bunch of guys stepping up. We did our best to lead it, but we were just such a young squad. We didn't have the upper class to really help us progress in the season. So this year we've had a ton of young guys step up, and our class as well, my class, we really stepped up in a lot of internal leadership, I would say. So we do a lot of like practices, like we'll go out on the field independently from our coaches. We lift on our own. We'll do plyos on our own. Like we do a lot of work outside of what's expected of us this year. I think that's really different that we haven't seen previous years in our program, and I think that's something special that we're building here.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. It sounds like it kind of stems from just watching that group of seniors and the hard
Hmm.
work they put into receive that, or end with that outcome of a great season. So uh you know then fast forward to this year, your junior year. Like I mentioned, kind of an up and down year. Finished the year 3-6.
Hmm.
What were kind of some of your biggest takeaways, or what were your biggest kind of lessons you learned from this season, and how do you go into this off season?
So we obviously didn't have a great year. 3-6, never something you like hope for, wish for, not what we
Hmm.
wanted. But I feel like even though we didn't win, we were never blown out. We always felt like we were in the game. It was two scores, one score. Like we weren't getting blown out 56-0. We weren't getting shut
Yeah.
down, and we actually had a shutout of our own. So I mean, we did good. We were a few mistakes away from winning games, few plays here and there, make a few big plays, then we'd be in the game, score some points. But so going into this offseason, we just wanted to clean up our mistakes, like simplify our processes, and then make sure we were putting in that work to be one step ahead of whoever we play this year. So that way this year we as successful as the season as we can.
100%, man, for sure. So then, kind of looking at, looking back, reflecting on the season, and looking back at yourself individually, where would you say you've kind of saw the most improvement or the biggest areas of growth as a player for yourself?
So the biggest thing that I noticed, like I rewatched all my film, I looked at what I can improve, what I need to work on. So my biggest thing was pass rush this year. I want to be able. So I've been working a ton with like recognizing blocks quicker, faster. Always been able to get into a guy, kind of read him from there. But I want to be able to recognize first step, second step. Like, is this pass play? And then watching film helps a ton with that. So I just want to be able to be snappier, be quicker, react faster, and then that'll help me with producing more tackles, TFLs, sacks, stuff like that. So that's been a big focus for me, as well as like bringing up the younger guys with me. So making sure that we have the support around me, and then I can help support our team. As one player is never going to be able to win a game. It's an 11 player team. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So I've just been working a ton with some of the younger guys, some of the guys in my class, and help them bring them up to speed. So that way we can have as productive of a season as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so I really like how you mentioned, talking to the younger guys too. A lot of people, they might be like, oh, well, it's a team sport, but, I could work out by myself or whatever. Yeah. But, it sounds like you're making an effort to include the younger guys and making sure that, like you mentioned, the weakest link, you're only as strong as the weakest link. So you're kind of beefing everybody up. Where does that come from? Where does that, is that something that like maybe coaches are like, Cole, like, you're going to be a big time player next year on the team. We need you to maybe take these young guys, or is that something that it just comes from like a natural desire to like be a leader, like win, like where does that come, or maybe even some mix of both?
So this season, like I've always wanted to win, desire to win. I always knew it was like a team game. Like I'm never going to be able to. Sure, I can make plays, but the guy next to me needs to make as many plays as me. Yeah. So this season we had something called Leadership Council. So our team voted for 12. I think it was 12 guys that were on our council, and we go in the mornings on Tuesdays, I think it was, and we talk to our coach about leadership. We'd give our ideas on what we wanted to do. He would help us implement them, stuff like that. So we're always, I feel like this year we had at least 12 guys leading our team, and then that just kind of carried into the off season. And yeah, it's come from both. So we've had our coaches help us with it. They give us like the formal authority, I guess you could say, but like there's always leaders within a program that we just have like a little extra.
Yeah, for sure, man. Support us. Yeah, definitely. They kind of lead you to it, and then you guys, it's up to you guys to kind of you get out of it what you put into it, kind of deal. Yeah. So yeah, for sure, man. Kind of a mix of both coaches and you guys just being leaders. So then from there, I want to talk a little bit about recruiting. You've been, you've been a ton of places, visits, stuff like that, and you're a player that's constantly kind of receiving attention from schools here and there, graphics, all that kind of stuff. You also recently, not recently, I guess it's crazy. It's been 2 months since December. That's wild, dude. But in December, you picked up your first offer from Northern Iowa. Very exciting, obviously, D1, FCS, always awesome to see that kind of stuff. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then from there, I kind of just want to see what was that like for you, receiving that first offer. How did it happen? Where were you? What was kind of going through your head when you got that call or when you were told that?
Yeah. So, Joe Gantz came into school. I was struggling through some pre-calc, just grinding it out, but
tough,
he came in. Tough. He came in and then he talked to me. He was like, he likes my game. Love to see me at campus. All the normal stuff. And then he was like, I want to send in an offer. I was excited. I tried not to show it to him,
Yeah.
So like, cool. But texted my parents. They were excited. Everyone was excited. It was like a big first step. But then he left. He left for Middle Tennessee, I believe. So then Coach Riley Wayne came into school, and then he like the offer still stood. So I
Yeah.
was excited about that, and then excited to be able to get out to their campus this year or this March, I believe. I'm going to be going down
Nice.
there, check it out, see what they're all about, learn more about the program. Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely, man. That's awesome, dude. Obviously you gotta keep it cool in front of the coaches, man. You can't look too
yeah,
excited. But I'm sure that was a very relieving feeling for you as a player, and
yeah.
probably validated a lot of your work. How did that kind of how did you kind of process that? Like, man, this is kind of what I've been working for.
Yeah.
Like, what was that part kind of like for you?
So kind of always, like I always believed that I could play at that level, but they're never like it's hard to see the fruits of your labor. Like you don't
Mm,
like sure like do I look like that guy? But it's always hard to tell. Like only the coaches will ever know whether you're this level or that level, whatnot. So it was like a big relief. It was like, oh, maybe I can actually play at this level. Maybe this is what I want to do. This is how I want to continue going forward. It was just it like validated all that work, everything that I'd done. It was like, oh, you can play at this level, and it
yeah.
just it was like a sign that it was paying off that I was doing something right.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And for as long as I've been doing this, if there's one thing I know is that once one door gets kicked down, it's usually a ton more opening up after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that's probably kind of you've maybe seen a little bit of uptick in your and teams reaching out
Yeah.
and stuff like that. What
Mm-hmm.
other schools have kind of been in the mix for you? Who's kind of been reaching out for you or to you? Which schools have kind of been sticking out the most to you in turn or so far in your recruiting?
So we've had a bunch of schools come by. I've been out to a few schools. Wyoming's definitely stood out to me. I feel like this is a good place because I want to go somewhere where I can develop. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a 5-star player. I'm not someone who's going to pick up 40 offers or something crazy like that.
Mm,
So like I want to go somewhere and I want to be able to become the best player that I can be athletically, academically, and as a person too. I just want to grow and use that experience and that opportunity to become the best person I can be. And I feel like Wyoming's they help a ton out with that development and like the program's been steady. Their coach retired and pretty much the whole coaching staff stayed.
yeah.
And it's been a good program that's really stuck out to me. Um, been to a few other schools. Nothing stood out to me like as much as they have so far. So that'd definitely be one of my biggest schools so far.
Yeah, for sure, man. They treat their Nebraska guys very well over there too.
Yes.
They constantly are recruiting. Oh, Nebraska very well, and they
Mm-hmm.
usually do a good job of getting some guys out there. So, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, man. So then, oh shoot, let me see here real quick. So then, do you have any other visits planned in the spring so far, or coming up, or maybe camps that you're planning on
Uh,
attending?
yeah. So right now we pretty much kind of finalized what I'm going to be doing like March, April. So go to schools. I'll go to Lindenwood. Maybe I'll get down to North Texas and then maybe Memphis as well. But yeah, mostly the Dakota schools, UNI obviously. And then I went to Wyoming early February, I believe. So that'll be what I'll be doing. And then as far as camps go, I'm not 100% set. That's pretty far in the future. I want to see what like our school schedule's like, what our camps are, etc. And then go from there. Mm-hmm.
So then, in a few months, when it's time to settle down and you have all these offers in front of you and it's time to make your decision, what are some of the things that you're factoring in the heaviest when it comes to making that decision?
Yeah.
Is it like facilities, coaches, like proximity to home? Like, what are those factors for you?
Probably development, just overall. So I want to go somewhere where not only a better football player, but also a better person. Like there's always life after football. Obviously, like I have dreams of making it to the NFL, and I want to be able to play at that level. But if I'm not able to, I want to make sure that I give myself the best opportunity to grow as a person. So probably like you want to obviously make sure they have the resources to help you become as successful as you can. but also like you want to build relationships and you want to be somewhere where it's like stable, consistent. You don't want a new coaching staff every year or stuff like that. You know, a new team every year, even with the transfer portal and everything. So I want to go somewhere where I can build relationships with my teammates and coaches and everyone.
So, man, having those strong relationships, because then from there, like you said, maybe if NFL isn't in the
Mm-hmm.
books, maybe you have those strong relationships with coaches and you can get into coaching or whatever it may be.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely having those strong relationships and having that consistency, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
So then, on the flip side, if I'm a college coach and I'm looking at you,
Yeah.
and I'm curious, what kind of player am I getting once you sign pen to paper and you're committed to coming to my school? What kind of player in person am I getting on my team?
Yeah. So biggest thing for me as a person is my biggest thing is 1% every day. So like mentally in my head, I'm always like earn my 1% every day. So
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm going to do something that helps me either physically, mentally, whether it's playbook, film, workouts, drills, stuff like that. I just want to get 1% every day, just a little bit. And whether that's helping someone, it could be anything, but just be able to get my 1% every day. And then like I try and bring a positive attitude, like think of myself as an optimist, just stuff like that. Like nice guy. I'm gonna try and stay as humble as I can, but I'm also gonna give it as best as I can. If that makes sense.
Just being a good, locker room presence and stuff for
Yeah.
sure, man. That's huge. Yeah, and that's awesome to hear. Just that constant, desire to, like you mentioned, get 1% better every day, stacking
Mm-hmm.
those good days, and keep growing as a player and as a person outside of football. So
Yeah.
that's huge, and that's awesome to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure coaches, if any coaches listening, I'm sure that's something that it's like music to their ears. So, um, so then the last thing I got here for you, the last segment I do, I call it life game balls. So basically, what it is
All right.
is I turn the table over to you, and you can hand out, your game balls, your flowers, your shout outs, your thank yous, just to those people that have always been in your corner, whether it be your parents, coaches, teammates, whoever it may be, just those people that have always kind of fought for you and, kept you pushing, even when times get
Yeah.
tough and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. So first, obviously, like my family, they've helped me a ton, helped me grow as a person, helped me be a big person, and they helped me raise me. So
yeah.
obviously, them right away. My friends, they've kept me out of trouble. They helped me become who I am. You know, you are who you surround yourself with. So I feel like I have a great group of friends. And then the coaching staff, Coach Burks, Coach Ash, Coach Tepley, Coach Trano, all of them. Like Burks is always there if I need. He helps me like spiritually. So I do FCA with him. Helps me out with that. Like he's always there if I need someone else to talk to. Coach Tepley, he's helped me a ton with like football knowledge. Trano's helped me grow as a leader and as a person. And then Coach Ash, he's also there, always there if I need someone to talk to. Like we have great staff. I have great people in my life that if I ever need something, I can count on them.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
having that strong support system. And it sounds like the coaching staff there at Southwest, they're always on top of
Mm-hmm.
making sure you guys are good. So that's great to hear. Having that support system at home and at school and stuff like
Yes.
that. So yeah, man, that's great to hear. And like I said, it's always nice to give out those game balls.
Mm-hmm.
Life is moves fast, and we don't always get to give out those thank yous. So just a
Yeah.
quick opportunity to do so. All right, man. So that's about all I have for you. The last kind of send off question I have for
Mm-hmm.
you, or not necessarily question, but just kind of give me some. I want to hear some goals for yourself as a play. That could be as a player, maybe outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're trying to get an honor roll, whatever it may be. But some goals for 2024.
Yeah.
And that includes the football season as well. If you wanted to include some football goals, maybe you're trying to hit
Mm-hmm.
10 sacks or just playoffs or
Yeah.
whatever it may be. Just let's hear some of those goals for you.
So straight off the bat, I want a state championship this year. We have a great team. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously that's always the goal, but this year I really think we can do it. We got a great team, uh, great leadership, a good returning class. I feel like we can get that. And then keep my grades up. and just grow as a person. Help
Yeah.
become more in touch with my more in touch with my feelings now.
Yeah.
But better understand myself and help myself grow.
Yeah, definitely, man. For sure. Just keeping that development, as a person and then as a player as well, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully, it's a long road to Memorial.
Oh yeah.
Got a ton of months still left before then, but a lot of work that could be done before to get there. So, hopefully, you can turn that into and manifest those words into reality
Hope so.
for it.
We're excited.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking time to do this, man.
I seen liars that testified on their oath, I hear rappers not living out what they wrote, my peers ought to be studying, taking notes. How you hate me to the core when I keep your ass afloat. I put pressure on